This is the Spirit and Wellness Show. News and information from a higher perspective. With your host, Harry Wilkinson.
Yes, welcome to the Spirit and Wellness Show. I am your host, Harry Wilkinson, and this is the show where we take a look at the days and weeks events, happenings in the world of politics, international news, technology, entertainment, science, everything that we think of as affecting our world. And we take a look at these things from a higher perspective. So when we look at these things from a higher perspective, at least when I talk about this, I'm talking about looking at it from a spiritual or metaphysical point of view, not religious. This is not a religious program, although we do talk about religion, various and different types, and how they express certain belief systems or certain aspects of human spirituality. But we are not talking about a set of dogmas here. We're talking about a point of view, a perspective, if you will, a higher perspective. So in this perspective, what we understand is that we are creating all the things that we are experiencing around us. We're creating them on a higher level. And we are doing this mainly to have certain experiences and to reconnect and really remember and going into those things around us that maybe puzzle us, maybe cause us a little discomfort or concern, going into those and recognizing the truth of them empowers us, takes energy back from those situations, and allows us to actually change them. So from that perspective, we can look at these things around the country and around the world with perhaps less dismay or less less feelings of being overwhelmed, or perhaps just feeling slightly more empowered and less at the mercy of things beyond our control. Because I know particularly in today's times when we are bombarded with non-stop, it seems, information from a variety of sources, you can easily become overwhelmed. And you can easily go into overload, or what is the word I'm trying to, I think overload probably is the best word. Information overload, as they say, which can also cause a sense of overstimulation, which can make you feel anxious, and perhaps overly concerned, or give you a sense of negativity, all kinds of things. These are not, these are not optimum ways that you want to feel. So by taking the step back, by changing the intensity that you might feel, and by slowing things down, this gives us a sense of awareness and a sense of empowerment, for lack of a better word. But perhaps the most important thing we can do in taking that step back is in slowing ourselves down and in slowing ourselves down, we open ourselves up. We expand. And we do this through things like meditation or yoga practice if you do a yoga practice. These things help us to remember how powerful we are. And so that's why we talk quite a bit about meditation on this show. Mindfulness practice is something we've been talking about quite frequently, quite a lot lately, because it's become really it's hit the mainstream, as it were. Earlier in the year, there was Time magazine had it out on its front page cover. An article about the mindfulness revolution. And I think it is a revolution, but I think revolution in the way that we particularly think about it, well, is is a little dramatic. I see it more as an awakening. Maybe even a remembering. But certainly an awakening that deepens our awareness, deepens our connections, helps us to be fully aware, fully awake, fully engaged. And when we are those things, we tend to pay less attention to the illusory nature of those things around us that seem to be threatening or negative or what have you. When you are present, when you are awakening, you remember the truth. And when you remember the truth, then all of these things take a different aspect. And the best way to do that, mindfulness is a wonderful way of doing that. Meditation is a wonderful way of doing that. But slowing down in this day and age, I think, is really a key component to fully awakening. And in dealing with the incredible pace that technology has set for us, with all the different ways that we are communicating. And it's interesting, all of these technologies, whether they're social media or smartphones, or now the latest thing is, you know, the Internet of Things. The Internet of Things is where your entire house, everything around you, is connected to the Internet. That's the next sort of technological push that they're embracing, and so you have things like Alexa, which is I think Alexa comes from Amazon, I believe, and Apple has Siri. These are things where you can literally just talk to the device, and it will turn lights on for you, record TV programs for you, dial a phone for you, give you information that you need. But it's interesting to me that this sense of connectedness, which is really a metaphysical concept, an understanding, is taking a very concrete form in these technologies that we use. I mean, what better representation of our interconnectedness than something called the World Wide Web? For centuries, Native American cosmology, indigenous tribes have talked about the web of life, the interconnectedness of life. And though they could see it in very concrete ways, the way they approach the world, our sense of materialism has sort of made the concept of the web of life more of an ethereal or abstract idea. And so now, in this very concrete, materialistic way, through technology, we are actually creating a very concrete representation of our connectedness through the Internet and all of our devices, where we can be right there experiencing something with our friend and also be somewhere else at the same time. It's because I think humans recognize that sense of connectedness and are always trying to reaffirm that. So getting to an awakened state requires being able to take in all of these things around us, but in a way where we are not being overstimulated or overwhelmed, but in which we are absorbing them, giving them their place, taking them in, and reducing them in a way, taking the energy from them and empowering ourselves. So slowing down is a very important thing to do, and you can do that anywhere.